Hello and welcome. In today's reading, we are going to ask the cards, what is your soulmate who you haven't met yet doing right now in this moment while you're watching it? Like, what is happening in their life? What's going on? What is their life like? What sort of lessons maybe that they're going through? Because, I just get curious about what my future forever person is like doing right now in their life because I assume they exist already because I'm not going to date a child. Um, and I hope you feel the same. So let's get straight into the reading. Okay, so we have a beautiful spread of cards. I think your person is definitely going through a more intense period in their life. I'm getting like a time of healing and a time of transition where there's a lot of, think of like Scorpio energy, where like think of Scorpio and Pluto as a planet. It's all about completely redoing things, renewing yourself, coming into a new part of yourself, starting like tearing everything down to start from the beginning. It's like a time of destruction, but also a time of new growth. And we have the longevity card. So this could be like a theme that they've been going through for a long time, or they could be learning about the importance of longevity and how things take time. And we also have the love card. And so I'm kind of getting that maybe they've just broken up with someone that they were with for quite a while, for like a long time. Um, but they are actually quite grateful for this ending with the gratitude card. And they also have a lot of hope about what's about to come to them with the hope card. So overall, like, they are glad and happy that they've left this relationship. We also have the Libra symbol here, which makes me think of partnership. So yeah, they perhaps had a lot of love and good times within this partnership, but they are glad it's ending because they needed it to in order to grow more as a person. It seems like it was maybe more of like a mutual thing, or maybe more like kind of mutual, but then also they were the one to say something or the one to end it. So it's really like on their terms. It doesn't feel like a tower moment where the other person kind of brought this out of nowhere. I think both sides of the party could kind of see this happening. But yeah, we have Scorpio, Libra, Taurus, and Gemini energy on these four cards. And we have a lot of air and a little bit of water. So I think your soulmate right now in life is going through a lot of perception changes, like the way that they think is changing a lot, the way that they're seeing the world is altering in some sense, and even like the world's like their life is changing so much that they're being forced to go about things in a different way. It's forcing them to change how they would react to things. And they could be a very like mind focused person where they depend on their mind a lot and depend on logic, but that's sort of changing in a way. They're viewing their mind in a very different way. So, yeah, they're in this time of life where a lot of good things have ended that needed to end, and now they're just kind of waiting for the good things to happen. And they could already sort of be starting to happen, but they're really learning about the importance of gratitude. They're feeling a lot more gratuitous about their life and about the people that they've had in their life and about beginnings and endings. Um, and they're actually finding a lot of peace within the fact that life is like a cycle where it begins and ends endlessly. And they see like a very bright future for themselves. And daffodils are very much the spring card. I'm even seeing lots of daffodils because it's spring where I am. Um, and so they could think that, okay, like new things are coming for me, like right now, like they're just on the horizon. So I think your soulmate right now, they're expecting good things to happen very soon for them. They expect them to happen this spring, the next month or so. And they feel like because they finally released this relationship that needed to end because it went on for so long, um, they're feeling a lot more renewed, like a new person. They're excited to come into this new version of themselves. Um, so yeah, like things are kind of exciting. They're bittersweet for your person right now. So moving on to some more cards. We have the Dandelion card, and it says Wounded Healer. It's associated to Chiron. You know Chiron. Yeah, so it seems that while they are very hopeful about their life, they're definitely in a time of their life where they're healing or they're quite wounded for something that recently happened, like this breakup. I think there could be other sorts of things that are happening in their life that are triggering childhood wounds to come up, or just like parts of their ego are coming up and it's like shining a light upon their shadow side and they're starting to understand their shadow side more and so they can like actively heal it. So I think they're in an active healing period, and they do have a lot of hope about that. We also have the Magician card with Ginseng, and so I think they are aware how much power that they have right now. They're really coming into their power in a way that they haven't consciously done before, and they're using the resources that they have around them right now, and they could actually be in a time where their environment is quite abundant, or they're really just making use of what little abundance they have. Like they may not have a lot of support systems right now or like a lot of income, but they're making use of the resources that they have around them. And they're finding a lot of power in that, and they are feeling more like the creator of their own life, and that they have more control over their life. And they just feel like a gosh darn magician right now. Like they feel like they can create pretty much anything almost out of nothing. Yeah, they're feeling a lot of empowerment from this. We also have the Harmony card, which is the Yarrow card as well. We have Venus showing up. Um, so yeah, they could also be, again, I mentioned they're in a time of healing, and they could be in a more like peaceful, slow time where things seem to be going more so their way. They seem to have struck a balance between the things that matter to them most. Yeah, and they could be, delving more into luxurious things and treating themselves really well and doing things for themselves. This is kind of like their selfish era, where they're really focused on healing themselves and making themselves as happy as possible, and kind of healing that inner child, and listening to the inner child. And so they could be doing a lot of like fun things by themselves or with friends, or just taking things down a step from maybe a previously really busy and overwhelming lifestyle. They're in a place now where they are able to take their time. Yeah, they're really in a time of their life where they're putting their best self out there. They're starting new passions and projects and trying new things, and then waiting to see what happens from that. They're just like in very much in that transition period of being like, okay, I've like sent the email, I've like signed up for the class or whatever, and now I have to wait for a response, or wait until like keep doing this until I get like strong enough, you know. It's like an exciting new beginnings of trying new things and not really knowing where they're gonna go, but knowing that they're gonna go somewhere positive. Um, and Ember really seeing that with the Two of Candles. We also have the Magician showing up again within a different card. It could be a somewhat spiritual time of life for them. They could be delving into spirituality for the first time. They could be getting more into it. They could be trying new practices. They could be trying to be more connected to whatever they believe in, and put more time into that in order so they can feel like kind of like the conduit between the other realm and the one that they're in. They really are desiring to feel a connection to that. And it feels like right now in their life, it's easier for them to achieve that because they're putting so much focus on themselves. And we also have the Knight of Roses, which is the Knight of Pentacles in this deck showing up. And I think that's really representing them. They don't necessarily have to be a man, but their energy is very kind of, they're taking things slow. The Knight of Pentacles is the slowest moving knight, also the most mature, though. So in this time of life, they already seem like a very mature person that knows what they want. They're quite stable and secure and can depend on themselves, can be an independent. And they're very, like, they're being, like, very, like, romantic towards themselves and, like, falling in love with themselves in a certain way. And this energy is really, like, exuding out to the public and to when they go out as, like, a very, like, stable lover and, yeah, a romantic lover, one that knows how to, like, please people in a healthy way and is good at, like, gifting themselves and the ones and their loved ones around them what they need most because they are so observant. They're really feeling this part of their life right now, which is kind of a stagnant time of their life where they are just kind of waiting for things to kind of happen because they've put in the effort already. But it's allowing them to be a lot more present, and it's allowing them to see things in a new light, and that's actually making them more attractive in a way without them even realizing it. They're rather stoic in this card, I find. It's like a rather stoic figure who seems to really know what they want. You could never like convince them easily into things or like convince them what they want isn't what they want. They feel very secure in themselves right now in this point of their life. Um, and they could be like getting into jewelry. I just noticed like this person is wearing so much jewelry. So like they could be getting more into like bracelets and rings and necklaces and stuff and trying new styles that they've never tried. Or maybe this is the first time really becoming like a jewelry nut and they feel like more confident in themselves to try jewelry because maybe before they thought it wasn't really their thing or they just didn't have like the financial resources to get into jewelry. But they're really like experimenting with how they present themselves, painting their nails, kind of thing, maybe showing more skin. They could have been like hesitant to do that because of insecurities. So they definitely are in like a more confident era. That's what they're coming into, which is really great for the future of when you meet your soulmate because they're already sounding pretty hot, like some hot shit. So you're meeting someone that is gonna have like a healthy life, and like healthy boundaries. So this is looking really good. I am gonna check to see like around like what would have to happen in order for you guys to meet. Just gonna do like a quick little like see if the cards show any sort of timing. So in order for you to meet, you're actually going to have to go through some conflict and confrontation within your life. Like you have to there's it's going to be in a point of your life where you have to fight for what you believe in or fight for yourself um and like fight for your boundaries. I think both of you need to go through that lesson of proving your boundaries and not being scared to express them before you can meet each other because I think, "Oh my god, pretty little bird out the window, he's red." We'll take that as a message. Um, but yeah, I think you're both gonna need to know the importance of boundaries and be able to express them before you enter this relationship and for it to go as smoothly as possible. Um, yeah, and we have like the Five of Candles, which is the Five of Wands in this deck. And then like I kid you not, like at the back of the deck, it just kind of like showed up was the Queen of Roses, which feels like a counterpart to the Knight of Roses. Like I know it's usually like the King and Queen, but this feels like very resonant. Like they are the Knight of Roses. You are the Queen of Roses or Pentacles, and they kind of belong with each other because they're both so sure of themselves, so stable within themselves, very secure, abundant, and but they're both like more a little fun loving than the king. The king feels like more established, but both the knight, more so the knight than the queen, like it's very like new energy, and you're coming into yourself, and a lot of things haven't happened yet in life. Um, and like the Queen of Roses, you can see that they like have a golden leg, and they're sitting and they're displaying that leg, and they're not like ashamed of their wounds or the fact that they don't have something that like other people have. Um, they're not ashamed to like hide. They're not like hiding their wounds and what they've been through in the past, or hiding their weaknesses. Um, the Queen of Roses is very like open about what she's been through, open about the difficulties that she faces. Yeah, it's interesting because the knight is looking off, and then the queen is just looking straight forward. Um, so it seems that your soulmate is more kind of soul searching, maybe looking towards exterior things to find more of themselves, but you right now are looking more so within yourself, or you're looking straight at what is in front of you and what's the most obvious and focusing on that. Um, we also have the Knight of Feathers here. I don't, you can take that as you, however you want. But I think, yeah, with there's the air and wand is that this meeting is actually going to happen a lot sooner than you thought, that than what you're thinking. I can't say how soon, but I think as soon as you both go through the lesson of this boundaries thing, and then that's maybe when you're going to start coming into each other's lives. Um, and I think it might be you come into your lives in a more subtle way, just because the pentacles it's is like it feels like the most subtle and slow moving um, of it. So I think like the process of this union is going to be happening quite quickly behind the scenes without you knowing, and then actually kind of getting together might take a while, if that makes sense. Yeah, there's like a lot of fiery energy and a lot of grounded energy, which is like super interesting to have a mix between earth and fire. But that's very much like the vibe of your soulmate and of like your connection that's gonna happen. And also, like, you could have to go through this Knight of Feathers individual before getting to your Knight of Roses soulmate person. The Knight of Feathers feels a little bit more immature to me. Um, they're more, they less are less aware of what's happening in their surroundings and within their body, and are more aware of their mind. So they could be really like stuck in their mind. But that's maybe something that you're trying to step away from, because that's not something that you want anymore. And I feel like you're this figure, this like woman who's like tying him up, and it's being like, hey, I'm the one in charge. I'm tying you up so that you can't walk life with me because I don't want you to follow. Like maybe you have like a fun sexual interaction with someone, or like a little fling before you meet your soulmate, and it teaches you a lot of things about yourself, and just like reconfirms a lot of the boundaries and values that you have, and like things that you don't want in a relationship in someone. This could be like, oh, is this going to be the person? And then it's like, no, no, they're not. I need to pack this up so I still have room for my soulmate to come in. So yeah, as long as you, I think that's with the Five of Candles, like boundary, you're making boundaries with this person, and then that energy is then going to allow your Knight of Roses to come through. So that's very exciting. So yeah, that's all I'm seeing for this reading today. This was like really like clear to me. It's like very strong, super interesting, dipping into someone's life that you haven't met yet and just like seeing what's going on. If you find that Yeet sounds kind of like your life, like you very easily could be kind of mirroring each other, or you could be in very like similar parts of life or going through similar lessons. Um, that may be the case. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. This is like a fun little reading. I haven't really seen like this exact topic much online in tarot readings. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Let me know if there's any specific video topics, tarot reading topics that you'd be interested in the comments. Let me know if that resonated. And I will see you next time.